No, what you think you doing? You ain't finished here, son! Sometimes men don't understand the language of femininity. Sometimes you gotta get aggressive with them. You gotta speak the language that they understand. And sometimes you have to bust open and straddle them, jump on top of them, grapple them, let them know they not... Listen. That's just what I'm saying. This is how some men lose their women to other women.
My name is Sarah, and I'm 28 years old. I've been married for 10 years now. I have 3 beautiful children. I have a great husband. He gives me everything I want. Beautiful, nice house, expensive car. Everything I want, he just gives me. And he always have my back. This man always have my back, and the inside, he's just unreal. It's like, damn. But I have one problem. I think my husband have the smallest dick in this whole wide world. The smallest dick. Like I said, I've been married for 10 years. I never have an orgasm. Never have an orgasm. I've been fake moaning, act like I comes, and it's not true. But right now, I'm just sick and tired of it, that the fact that I can come no orgasm, and I'm not happy. I don't know what to do. I really don't. I don't want to live him because he can't make me come. It's like, what about if I live him and I can't find nobody good like him? I call my friends and I try to explain everything to them. I'm trying to ask them, like, what I should do. Should I leave him? Should I have a side man? Should I tell him? But telling him makes things worse, because the fact that he can change anything about his dick, he can make it bigger. It's just going to hurt his feeling to know that it's been 10 years and his wife been lying, faking, and have a side man. What about if he finds out? What about if I lose him? I don't want to lose him, because in the inside, he's everything a woman wants. He's always there. He cooks, he's clean. He has a great job, and he loves me. He put me first. I don't know what to do. I don't want to leave him, because, okay, leave him, I might find me a nigga with a big dick that's going to make me come every second. But is this man going to be great for me, just like him, or better than him? I don't want to regret, because I have 3 children. When I called my friends and I told them that, each of them tell me something. One of them said, "Oh, girl, you should have a side nigga," and the other one said, "You need to tell him." I'm confused. Can you guys please help me? I need to know, what should I do? Because at the end of the day, he's a great man. But just because he can't make me come to... I just don't want to lose him. What should I do? I'm just tired of it.
Okay, now. Whoo! Listen, that's a lot, right? That is a lot. All right, so let's jump into it. I am Tonya TKO. I'm a self-love specialist. I'm a life coach and a certified clinical hypnotherapist. And I am the author of the book of affirmations, Self-Love, which you can find on Amazon right now. The link is below. This book will help you rewrite your subconscious programming and reattune you to self-love. So this issue right here, let's jump right into it. On this channel, we focus on viral video topics, and we use them as teachable moments for Black women self-loving in relationships. All right, so there's a lot going on here. I had to take some notes. Number one, ladies, listen, we're going to get into a sex talk. So if the kids are around, push them away and just come forward and let's have a woman-to-woman conversation. Number one, never, ever, 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 never, ever, 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 never fake an orgasm. Don't do it. Don't do it. If there is a reason that you're not climaxing, this needs to be addressed. Your pleasure is important, and believe it or not, men want you to experience pleasure. They want you, they want the pride of knowing that they have brought their woman to the edge and brought her over the edge into Orgasmville. You know, she said in here that it's not going to make things better to talk to him, because all while she's talking, I'm like, you asking us for advice when you should be talking to him. But she says she doesn't want to let him know that it's been 10 years and she hasn't come in 10 years. So what? It'd be better at 15 years or 20 years? This needs to be nipped in the bud right now. Let's just address the elephant in the room, okay? We're going to address the elephant in the room. Is this real? The very first thing that I thought is, you don't want your husband to know, but you make a video and then it goes viral online. It's then been picked up by a world star hip hop, and you talk about you don't want him to know. Well, honey, he gonna know now. It doesn't sound like she's in the U.S. She sounds like she could be Caribbean or from someplace, right? I don't know. But there's a lot going on here. Let's break it down piece by piece by piece. Number one, she got married young. She says she's 28 and she's been married for 10 years. And that means she got married at 18. Now, this man, let's talk about it. We don't know the guy's age, but I can imagine if he's making that much more money to get her the fancy cars and all of the things that she wants, and he has this small penis issue that he himself hasn't brought up and hasn't really taken the time to know whether or not she's truly climaxing. Like, it gives me the impression that there's some other things going on here, but let's jump into the age thing. Something may be wrong. You know, when a man who is older goes looking for a younger, inexperienced woman, young woman who doesn't really know her way around intercourse, he could be specifically targeting a younger woman for her inexperience and naivete, because he's like, oh, well, you know, she's new. Because listen, I like I said, I'm a life coach, so I talk to men. And I do a lot of field research, talking to men, interviewing them, asking them questions, and getting deeper understanding and knowledge of relationships from male point of view, right? And there are men out there who like to pluck them young because they feel that they can mold them into who it is that they want them to be. If you meet a man, an older man, who does not date women his age, will not date a woman his age, there's a reason why. And it's most likely because women his age just don't want him for various reasons, and this could be one of them. She says she feels that he has the smallest penis in the world. And it brings to mind lesbians. I once life coached this lesbian who was having some marital issues with her wife. And you know, when we talked about their sex life, she said that her wife had an enlarged clitoris, and that with that clitoris, that the wife could penetrate the opening of her body with the enlarged clitoris, and that it felt amazing to her. And they had a very thriving, bustling sex life that was very fulfilling for both of them, right? This is part of what kept the marriage together. Now, the issue here isn't size. This is her husband, and for 10 years, he's not been aware that she hasn't climaxed. He hasn't felt the physical feelings of a woman's climax. When a woman climaxes, you could feel you could feel it on the inside. You can feel it. And the fact that he hasn't felt that in 10 years lets me know that there's something else happening, because it's more than just size. It's the investing into getting to know your partner, investing into exploring their bodies. Like, if you think about the difference between watching straight porn and lesbian porn, or porn with woman on it, there's a big difference in the way that the sensuality at which a woman approaches the act, you know, making it a full body experience. And just look for yourself. Like, if you look at a threesome with 2 men and 1 woman, or 2 women and 1 man, you'll see that there are differences that exist in the sensuality that women bring into the lovemaking process, right? And a woman can have no penis, use no type of penetrative devices, and still have a fulfilling sex life with her partner. And this is how some of you men out there This is how some men lose their women to other women, because it's said that 70% of American women have never had a climax. And I can imagine in other cultures where there's more machismo, that the number is even greater than that, of women who have just never felt what an internal penetrative orgasm feels like, or even a clitoral orgasm. Let's go forward. Let's go forward. Because she got married so young, it's most likely that she doesn't really know her own body, because she says she's never had an orgasm. Has she had an orgasm on her own? Can she make herself climax? Does she know what she likes? One of the benefits of getting with a significantly younger woman, one who is fresh out of high school, is that she really hasn't had the chance to explore. And many men mistakenly think that that means that he's going to be able to teach her all that it is that she needs to know about intercourse. And that isn't the case. Every woman's body is different. Every woman is going to like a different thing. And even if you're the person that introduces a person to sex, there's still going to be things and ways that that particular person's body likes and needs to be touched, caressed, penetrated, rotated. The difference between pain and pleasure, and the variation thereof. You know, there's going to be, some women are going to like a very deep stroke. Some women are going to like a very shallow stroke, and other women are going to like something a little roundabout. You know, some women are going to like it fast. Some women are going to like it slow. Some women are going to like it run and jump in, go back and go in. Some women are going to like it just right up at right, keep it inside. And it's important that a woman, that a man, that couples explore. So now with this young lady, okay, so if this video can get back to her, I have a question for her. Do you know how to make yourself climax? Do you know what it is that you like? Because in order to be able to tell him or instruct him on what it is that you like, you have to first know what it is that you like. And I suggest for you, well, first of all, I'm sure your man has already seen this video by now. So I don't know what's going on in your household. I can imagine that it would be much better to have this conversation at home rather than put a video on the internet where you say your name, you show your face, and people who know you and know your man are going to be able to see the video and it'll get back to him. That's going to be a much worse situation. She's contemplating having intercourse with another man just to get her climax. Whatever happened to toys? Whatever happened to exploring yourself? What happened to honesty? Now, I know she was young. We can't go back in the past, but we can start from right now, from sitting your partner down and not, you know what, when it comes, scratch sitting down. When it comes to communicating with men, it's much more conductive to have a conversation with him where you are not staring him in the eyes. Because men, they have this thing that's built in them to want to please women. This is why I'm saying don't fake your orgasms. They have something that is evolutionarily built into them to want to please women. And being underneath the scorn or ire of a woman can be very painful for a man. So rather than confronting him face to face, right? Be in a situation where where you don't have to peer into his eyes while you're having a conversation. You could either just be lounging, laying in bed, but not getting ready to have intercourse. This is not the conversation you want to have when sex is about to ensue. You know, sitting down in a neutral setting where you're looking at the TV, he's looking at the TV, or you're cooking, and he's in the room and you just want to have the conversation, but have it in a way where he doesn't have to be underneath your glare. And just let him know, you know, that you have been wanting to try some new things. Get yourself a toy, figure out how you like it done, and then introduce it to him and say that you want to try something new. You know, you don't have to tell him that his penis you think is the smallest in the world and all of this other stuff. If he has a small penis, chances are he already knows that he has a small penis. So depending on the type of man that he is, and it sounds like he really wants to please you, you know, he cooks, he cleans, he caters to you, he puts you first, etc. And those could be things that he's doing to make up for the fact that he knows that his penis is small. But rather than introducing another man into the relationship and all of that, have the conversation with him about trying some new things, and then when it's time to get ready to climax, because see, you have to know what it's going to take to make you climax, and a lot of that is mental as well. So when it's time, let him know if you have a desire for it to be faster, for it to be slower, for it to be deeper, for it to be more shallow, for there to be more lubricants involved, for him to go down on you and create some natural lubricant. So it really takes knowledge of self, knowledge of your body. And these friends that are telling you to get a side person, please don't let other people into your relationship giving you advice that could destroy your relationship, right? Especially if this is a relationship that you want to hold on to. Now is the time for you to dig deep within yourself, into your intuition. Intuitively, you know your man, and you know that telling him his penis is the smallest in the world is not going to be something that's going to work. So, which conversation will work with him? Tell him that you want to try some new things. Introduce the toy that you've been using with yourself. Believe me, he's going to receive much more pride as a man knowing that he's gotten you over the edge than having not. He's going to feel so good about himself being able to get you there, but you have to assist him. You have to relax your mind. You have to be open to the orgasm. You have to be open to allowing yourself to climax, and you have to be open to exploring your own body to know what it is that's going to get you there, and know that that everybody likes something different. Every person, just like men have a different size of their penis, women have different natural sizes on the inside. Even though the vaginal walls are very elastic, every woman likes a different thing inside there. Some women have low cervixes, some women have anteverted or retroverted uteruses, so different positions are good for them. So, because your organ is on the inside, you may not really know that much about it. But you've got to explore. We shame young ladies so much. We shame them for having interest in intercourse. We shame them from exploring their bodies. We shame women so much from participating in exploratory intercourse with men. And so many of us feel a certain way about exploring. Listen, remember I said I interview a lot of men? A man who cares about his pleasure is not actively seeking someone virginal, because it's in that woman exploring. So it's like, okay, then it's like we have this dichotomy of the virgin whore syndrome, where men want that virginal woman to marry, but then they go and they cheat with the whore, or they're so enticed by the woman who is whorish, because that woman knows how to get her own pleasure. She knows how to give him pleasure. And any man who is specifically looking for a young lady who doesn't know how to receive pleasure or how to give pleasure, this is a warning sign. That's a red flag right there. If he's gone out there and he's gotten his experience, and then he's specifically looking for a person who doesn't have experience, something is the matter. Something is off. Because a person who loves themselves and is healthy and in a healthy place in their life is going to want to receive and give pleasure. They say good sex can keep a bad relationship together, but bad sex can't keep a good relationship together. It's much harder to keep a good relationship when a person is not satisfied and fulfilled sexually. This is why this woman is nearly in tears on the internet, crying for assistance. So I beg you women out there, and I beg you men out there, because 70%, listen to what it is that I'm saying, 70% of women have not ever had an orgasm. And there's some men out there, they don't really know. Like if you look at porn, and far too many men have learned sexual acts from pornography. And if you look at porn, there's really in most pornographic material, there's really no indication of when the woman is climaxing. Porn sets a very bad precedent that many people have aligned with the violence against women, because there's a devaluing of femininity and the feminine in pornography. But we can get into that another day. But in pornography, it's the ultimate fantasy of a woman who is always ready, always giving, and not really, and her pleasure is not one that interferes with the process. And we have all been in situations where you are participating in an act with a man, and because he doesn't really know sex and himself very well, the act can end. He can receive his pleasure and not really know that pleasure is important to you too. And for us who are faking orgasms, you're basically saying that it's not that important. Obviously, if you're going to go away from this exchange without getting what it is that you've participated in and came for, what you get, what you come for, pun intended, right? And so many of us are like, that's okay. And then you turn over. Now, for some of us, listen, we can participate in the act and it can be a sensuous, wonderful act. And we can feel filled from just that. And we can really turn around and be like, you know what, I'm good. But if you're turning around and you're like, it's okay. And you're feeling the tribulations on the inside, the angst of knowing that you have not had your release, then you're doing a disservice to you and you're doing a disservice to him. Speak up. Speak up. We've all been in situations where the man has climax and he doesn't know whether or not you've gotten there, so it may be too uncomfortable to ask, or he feels like maybe he should have known, or he thinks that whatever sound it is that you were making is, was it, and he's like, oh, if I ask, it's gonna speak up. Just say, no matter how it is that you were moaning, just turn over to him and say, okay, I want to climax now. I want to come now, right? Tell him you want to come, and he'll be like, oh, and then he'll be like, I need to do what it is that I need to do to get back into position, to be able to get you to where it is that you need to be. But make sure that you speak up and you relate your desire to climax. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the intercourse is not charity. You're not offering up your body like the sacrificial lamb, splitting yourself open for his pleasure alone. It's like sex feels good for both men and women. And our bodies are created in different ways because there has to be that investment in the female climax. There has to be. Part of the reason that she's thinking about leaving is because she hasn't climaxed with this man, and the climax helps to secrete oxytocin, which helps you feel bound to your mate. It's in his best interest. So speak up for yourself, speak up for him, but don't keep your mouth shut and then come out complaining, talking about, I ain't never come. Listen, the first time that it happened, you could have spoken up then. And now speak up, because you have to be invested in your own pleasure. You must. Because if you're not, you cannot be leaving it up to other people to decide what feels right for you and what is going to get you to that point. And listen, there are some men out there who don't care. Let's just put that out there. There's some men out there who don't care. They're like, oh, I got mine. You should have gotten yours too. Don't let it go down so easy. Don't let it go down so easy. Listen, first of all, do not continue to have intercourse with any man who is not invested in your pleasure. And if you so happen to be in a one-off situation with a person who is not interested in your pleasure, don't let it go down so easy. Get an attitude, get angry, jump on top of him. Listen, don't get yourself hurt now. Don't get yourself hurt. But straddle him. But listen, you know what? I've run out now. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Because I can tell you, right? There has not been an experience. Let me think. Has there been an experience that I have come away from? Oh, wait. One time, and that was because I had to put him out. He did something that he needed to be put out. But there was one time, and I was like, this is unacceptable. And I was like, no. I said, no. Oh, no. Because I wasn't going to let that be it wasn't going to go down like that. And I was like, no. What you think you doing? You ain't finished here, son. All right. Now I know I've run out. I can tell you, I got mine before I left that day. I got mine before I left that day. I tell you that much. And I got mine through him. You know what? Sometimes we women, listen, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. Sometimes men don't understand the language of femininity. Sometimes you got to get aggressive with them. You got to speak the language that they understand. And sometimes you have to bust open and straddle them, jump on top of them, grapple them, let them know they're not. Listen. That's just what I'm saying. I'm done. I'm going. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for coming out to this video. Make sure that you pick up my book on Amazon. It's the Book of Affirmation, Self-Love. When you love yourself, you know how to speak up for what it is that you want and need. You don't keep silent. When you love yourself, you have the confidence to voice your needs, not just sexually, but other needs that you have in a relationship as well. So many of you are talking about that matchmaking video that I did and how confident it is that I seem and rooted in what it is that I know that I want. This comes from self-love. I'm telling you, get the book on Amazon. Now is the perfect time to work on yourself and your self-love. This book helps rewrite your subconscious program. It has beautiful images in there, and all you have to do is rewrite. All you have to do is rewrite the affirmation and it changes everything. Remember, I told you I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. These are the most powerful affirmations that help me rise up out of the most difficult time of my life when I was living in my car and I didn't know how I was going to get out of that situation. So I'm telling you, no matter what situation you're in right now, there is sunshine on the other end. After the dawn comes the dusk. After the dusk comes the dawn. It's like we have to rise. The phoenix rises from the ashes. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You can have what it is that you want in this life. You can have what it is that you want out of your relationship. A man who gives a damn about you is invested in your pleasure as well. So listen, Tonya TKO and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? Love yourself. That's right. Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is advocating for your orgasm. Oh, yes. Part of loving yourself is advocating for your sexual pleasure. Don't just sit there and be like, oh, it's all right. And then just go get buzzy and be like, on the side. No. Orgasm with a man is an amazing, it's amazing to climax with a man. I love men. I love masculinity. I love the broad muscles and the bigness of a man, and climaxing in the embrace of a big, warm, strong, muscular man who is using his care and technique to help get you over the edge is one of the most exquisite feelings. Oh goodness, it's nice when you can dance onto the other plane, into the other world, and could really conjoin spirits with another person. It's for the 70% of you women out there who have never experienced a climax with a man, I'm telling you, there's a book that goes, God is in the orgasm or something like that. Go get the book. Go get the orgasm. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace. Oh, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that your bell notifications are on, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Thank you for watching. Make sure you thumbs up the video. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notifications to be notified of new videos. Leave a comment below and come over to TonyaTKO.com to subscribe to my personal mailing list, send me a message, or find out more about matchmaking. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.